Today is August 11th, 2026. Today, I went through McDonald's on North Main in North Canton about 6 o'clock this morning. Of course, there was some retarded woman for the call or the cartel to yell something at me. She's still an informant and we don't know why. It's because you're retarded. That's why you don't know why. Because you don't have a brain cell in your head. I take my client to work. I come home. I had a doctor's appointment out in Warren. Okay. There has been a lady that has been showing up out at my doctor's, lying to him for that Will guy. So I've been going over everything about everything from the fraud to the medical malpractice to the medication errors where I was sick before. And she's like, you had all those surgeries. No wonder your muscles clenched. And I told her about the crackpots I went to and falsely diagnosed and gave me the wrong meds and how my whole body swelled up, had seizures, heart attack, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, and how my community health said, they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, and getting kickbacks from drug companies to get off the medication. It was what was killing me, and it took me almost 9 months to get well. Okay. And but I have been out there. I've been slowly over the last year or so really going over everything from the hypnotic drugs and told to say it. And that nurse out there, she said, I looked up hypnotic drugs. Those things are horrible. You are sleepwalking under someone else's control. And you can do everything. Hypnotic drugs cause a state of sleepwalking, cause amnesia, and the risk of death when you take them because you're sleepwalking, you drive a car, you can eat, drink, have sex, anything, and you're awake, but your conscious is shut down. That's where the drugs and told to say it before. And where they beat and rape me under drugs, and I have no memory of those people from before, and I thought it was the well water. Killing me, give me cancer. Well, I go out to that doctor's office today, and she's like, Karen, how's it going? And I said, oh, you wouldn't believe it. I tell her about June 26, 26, about that agent's girlfriend stealing my money. How she was in there cackling in front of a bunch of sheriffs. How her family's stealing everything for her. And they're stealing everything from her because she's a faker. I said, you know where I told you I had all that fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors, and it took me a year to get well? Yeah. I said, she's calling me a faker. She went, oh. I said, I know. And how these people that they are running around offering people tens of millions of dollars, extorted money from the government to help out. And she said, and they fall for it. I said, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. To say something bad about her, we'll get your money. Okay. And how the sheriffs on July 5th, that girl that was laughing in a restaurant, she stole all your money, is that agent's girlfriend that he claims he has, or tells everyone he has to pay her today. And some investigator had called her a prostitute. And how they thought he was acting that way till he showed up at the other courthouse trying to get it thrown out. And now they realize he actually is in it with the cartel. And where he was saying he was stealing her money, they thought it was an act. And apparently he stole all kinds of money from the government in front of him. I said, someone does need to arrest him. And I said I went back down to Dutch Valley, and those lady investigators had showed up down there, and some other people. How could the Starr County Sheriff's fall for it? It's one thing when you're acting that way, but when you say you're stealing, you're a criminal. They should arrest him right away. And I told her, I said, that weird Henry Moffey that I showed you, that picture where he showed up and said he never met me in person and how he's the one behind all this. And I found out he's some guy named Pete, my ex-husband, hired on his own. He's supposed to be a fake dirty doctor. Okay? And he's that agent's girlfriend that's a prostitute's dad, which happens to be some girl from Dave's old church named Katie. That's her family member. And I said that's why they're all helping out to steal for her, running account of the government. And I said, even the Starr County Sheriff said that they all know that agent didn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet, that it's blackmail. Can't be in the court order, it's blackmail. And they thought he was only acting that way until he showed up to get that case thrown out. Now they realize he's with the cartel and he stole all that money. And I told her, I said, if you look at the freedom of speech, okay, that no one in the United States can tell another person they can't say anything. We have a freedom of speech in this country. No one. Not a judge, not an officer, not an agent. No one can. The only time a judge can place a gag order on you is during a jury trial and only during the proceedings only. Talk to a criminal attorney, police, prosecutor's office, sheriff's even said it. He doesn't have the authority. Oh, and Grant's friend, that's an FBI agent. That is illegal. It's blackmail. Go on Google, it's blackmail. Like the sheriff said, we know it's blackmail. You can't enter blackmail. I could hear some lady off in the distance. I'm the one that's running this now. She's not running nothing. And would she like to meet my officer, Mark, or Officer John? She'll find out who's running it real quick, and I bet she's the lady with the Louisville police. May 30th, 25 said she was going to try to trick me out of a bunch of money. Get the idea? Bet that's her. Where those two federal agents that look like my son Joshy, they're 30s, white, medium brown hair, about 6 foot tall, about 175. Work in the Belden FBI office, been around me since 18. The ones that said they'd used me for bait. Look at all the people they hired to hurt her. I know we can use her for bait. I'm a human being. Huh? Walk by, yeah. Tell these people to stay out of this. Remember March 23rd, 23 other investigators yelling out? We told these people to stay out of this. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything, and some lady thought she could make money off of it. Well, I think she was the one with the Louisville police, May 30th, 25 at 1 in the morning, how she thought she could trick me out of a bunch of money. Then they found the real case, remember? Well, I have a feeling she's been the one out there lying for that Will guy, the fake attorney, trying to pull a scam. They like to tell people that they have a quarter, that Agent John gets my money. There's no such thing. And we have copies of it. You wouldn't be carrying it if it was real. Where Chief Bruce Lewinsky went on the news there's imposters out there. Impersonating federal agents, police officers, with fake court orders and fake arrest warrants, trying to scam people out of money. This is one of their groups. Get the idea. It's already filed in the courts. She says anything, she don't get no money. No, it's not filed in the courts. You're a liar. It just is what it is. And then they act like they got a copy of the court order. You wouldn't have a copy of the court order if it was real. Duh. And let's see. They had people look up the court order. It's not there, sweetie, the real one. Because like Walter said, there's guidelines, Karen. And only guidelines that a judge can sign. You will get the money and immunity for life, for risking your life to get the government information. And you stay in immunity the rest of your life, and you get money the rest of your life for getting them information, risking your life for them. And they owe you. That agent cannot tell you, can't say anything. He doesn't have the authority. He's only a higher police officer. And it's illegal. It's actually a crime of blackmail, obstruction of justice, and tampering with a witness, and extortion out of government funds, and a crime against the U.S. government. That's how much he can't say it. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent if he tells an informant that they say anything, they won't get their money? It's 20 to life and all those charges. And what is a jail sentence for a judge signing it? The same. They can't be in cahoots, blackmailing people out of money. What's a jail sentence for an FBI agent if he tells an informant, if they say anything, they won't have protection? It's attempted murder, aiding and abetting crimes, obstruction to justice. Tampering with a witness, it's 20 to 30 years. What's a jail sentence for a judge signing it? The same. They can't sign it. Like Walter said, they'd be signing their own arrest warrant. It's not the quarter. That agent was only blowing me. We're a criminal attorney. He can't even say it. It's illegal. He can't even talk to you that way. Oh, we're Grant's friend. That's an FBI agent in Virginia. He said if she honestly didn't get her money, the only one that could have stolen it is that agent. And since the person's in immunity for life, and it's government protected money for people in government protection, you can't attach it, can't sue for it. So the only way he could steal is the agent when he stole her debit card with her name on it, where he loaded the money on it. He simply put it in his pocket. He's stealing bank cards that belong to other people in the government, that are government issued. He's stealing bank cards. Like his Grant's friend that's a federal agent said, he's probably been stealing from cases, been stealing everybody's debit cards. So, where that lady likes to try to tell people it's in the court order, it's already filed. No, it's not, bitch. You're a liar. You can't file blackmail. The case is only for getting them information for an FBI informant with threats and attempts on my life to find out who was behind it. Well, let's see. Unfortunately for the FBI, it was one of their agents that tried to run a fraud scheme on a real case. His girlfriend, her dad, Henry Muffy, Pete, Dirty Doctor impersonator, some drug dealer named Will, Katie, her family member, Melissa, my ex-daughter-in-law, my ex-husband, and a few other church people with some drug dealers. Okay? And see, that's where that lady's saying, it's already filed. We got copies of the court order. If it was a real court order, honey, you wouldn't have copies. I'm not that dumb. And neither is a lot of people. You're a scammer. And you're not in charge of anybody but somebody's ignorance. You're not in charge of anything. You wait till one of my guys get a hold of you. You'll find out who's in charge. Oh, Agent John had all that money, so he's just passing it out. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent taking an informant's money? Telling the informant, that if she says anything, she won't get her money. It's 20 to life. Pass out the money, we're going to be more. Huh? Stolen funds from the government. When people start realizing how not funny this is, that agent's stealing from the federal government, from taxpayers, and from victims. It's not in the court order. He can't even say it. Like the sheriff said, we all know he couldn't say it. We thought it was an act. Can't be in the court order. No judge could sign it. Get the idea he was only bullying me. But like Walter said, he was only bullying you. The police know that. So did a criminal attorney, a real one. So we're going to put it this way. You're in charge of nobody but somebody's stupidity. You are not from the Ravenna courthouse. You are not from the prosecutor's office. You are not from the police department. And you are not a federal agent. You're a scammer. And they need to find you, lady, because you're dangerous and you're part of those big fraud schemers. Scheming people out of money. And that is probably the lady that was with the Louisville police saying she could trick me out of money. I'm not that stupid. See, this is where the FBI needs to step in. Absolutely have to step in. Okay? And like Walter said, if they don't pay you, your case will get thrown out for them defrauding you. Where they started in January 19, that big legal loophole of that agent telling on her for calling the hotline. Okay? Then he bullied her, and he doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet, and he's already confessed on a recorded line. He had everybody in his office. They already knew. And he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He left her there. And he stole all the case's money. He was defrauding her the whole time. See, that's where they started saying that again last year and the year before. They were coming for the case, and now they are. That's where the FBI needs to say, hey, that's our case. It's not Agent John's. We'll take care of him. We only sanctioned a real threat and attempt to life case, attempt to murder case. For an FBI informant with threats and attempts on her life. For her to help get information on who was behind it. And with money and immunity. That's all we sanctioned. We did not sanction for Agent John to buy a prostitute and run a fraud scheme on a victim. That's our case. And with where Walter said they can get it thrown out if they don't pay you. And they know that. That's why they're laughing. That's where I went on Google. It can get it thrown out if I'm not paid. It also can get thrown out for being mistreated, That's where they're going to need like a willing statement that I was willing to stay up there while they got surveillance on me to get these people they hired threatening my life and harming me and others. And knowing I was risking my life, personal injury, possible death, but still staying up there under my own will while they surveillance me to get these people. Knowing the FBI would be the ones paying me and they would be the ones compensating me for any injuries. And then that other agent was only bullying me for, I know, with knowing my rights of the First Amendment freedom of speech. The agent didn't have authority to ask anyone to stay quiet. He was only bullying me. Knowledgeable, willing worker that was risking her own life. See, that's where they keep trying to destroy it. That would, like the investigator said, we wish they would take her offer. That willing statement would take it out of abuse. They pay her, and like Walter said, it'll seal the loopholes that no drug dealer gets out. Because right now, the way it's set up, where they're going county to county, they're even sending out the recorded line of him bullying me to prove he was defrauding me. That's where the willing statement and the pain, if anybody calls, it's a sealed case of a paid informant with a willing statement. So you don't touch our case. Got the idea? Because otherwise they're going to walk. You know, and that lady, Agent John had all that money, so he passed it out to people. You can't pass it out to people. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. He can't rob the government and just give it to whoever he wants. He can't rob victims. And when you hear the recorded line, it's the damning evidence he was behind all this. With his girlfriend and her dad and her drug friends. And then a call. Where I tell him someone told on me the night before. You liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar. I tell him that he tried to kidnap me before. Oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office, the ones that confessed they were lying to the FBI that offended them. March 27th, 25. And all the lying church people in his office. I know they're trying to kill you, and he says strangers lie from 03 of calling me a faker. When it was medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors almost killed me. I said I really was sick before. Now, if he knows somebody's going to kill someone and they're trying to kill him, it's accessory and attempt to murder. You arrest him, right? Nope. Why? Because when you listen to further on and then you find out who's who, then he's behind it. And he said, was there a camera above that bench when you heard that guy's voice? Weren't you? I don't know. Say you're lying, I'll arrest you. I said, what? He said, now you either say it or I'm going to come up there and put you in jail. You hear me? I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Now I want you to say you're faking you're sick. Well, it's ridiculous. I almost died from medical malpractice. I said, I really was sick before. He said, now I've met with that family in my office, the one that confessed they were lying. Just helping these people get away with it. And why were they helping them get away with it? Because Katie, part of that church, it was for her family member. And they thought they could rob the government. We'll put it that way. They told that agent they were helping, they were all lying in there to help these people get away with it. All lying. March 27, 25. I met with that family in my office. I lost her kid in a traffic accident. The one her father killed her kid. The ones that were lying. And all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you. And he said, strangers lie, call me a faker. I said, I really was sick before. You liar. You need to realize what you've done. And I don't blame him for trying to kill you. Aiding and abetting attempted murder. Accessory. I said, I really was sick before. You say you're faking or I'll leave you there. But they've tried to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let him kill me. Then say it or I'll leave you there. Ah, you hear me? I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, don't let him kill me. Recorded line. Give me a real reason why the FBI shot a person like you. Well, they've tried to kill me, so. They're going to kill me, so. Well, we could always use Pete's tape of weird with yourself. I thought, why are you lying on my brother? I haven't seen him in years and only talked to him on the phone. Says something else, and I'm thinking, why is he lying on? And then I thought, he must have the wrong case. He has to have somebody else's file because that don't even make sense. I don't know who or what you're talking about. He said, stop, Cheeto. No. He knew I didn't know. He said, something about him. I don't know who he's talking about. And I'm thinking he's got somebody else's file. And I said, I don't know who you're talking about. He said, well, I bet you're going to say, you don't know anything about this doctor for sexual disorders or one of your brother. At that point, I had to hold my breath. I wanted to yell at him, why don't you stop lying? He's laughing. Says a bunch of crazy stuff. And I thought, why is he lying? And I thought, well, I had some other lady use my insurance. They got it out of Dave March 27th, 25. He was letting another girl from where I thought it was random identity theft. No, it was Dave and another girl. Cheated on me in my whole marriage. Okay? And I thought maybe it was that other lady that used my insurance. Maybe one of hers. Mm-mm. Yeah, and I said, I don't know who or what you're talking about. As he's laughing, stop, she don't know. You know why he's laughing? Because it's a con and he knows it. Because who's Pete? Who's the dirty doctor? It's that guy, Henry Maupey. The one admitted that he never met me in person. It's his girlfriend's dad. Playing all three parts. When you find out who they are and it's all one person. Playing three parts. And it's his girlfriend's dad. So did he know that? Yeah. He knew it was a scam. That's why he was laughing. Where Henry Maupey told you the first month of the case, I had an Instagram account. I got an instant message. I think you're beautiful. It's like, thanks. Something about love on the beach, something else, something else. I don't know him from Adam. I go out to stores. People are talking about being drug traders, human traffickers from Florida. They work for Judge Peters. Okay, and they're talking about a Henry Maupey. I thought, what's the name of that picture of that guy that sent me those weird messages? What does he have to do with anything? Go out and watch him get in the vehicles, and those vehicles are following me. At times, some guy was with him. Looked like that picture. I thought, that's weird. What does he have to do with this? Okay. Well, they hadn't even mentioned, when I go out, people talk around me all the time. And the riffraff people hadn't even talked about him. So I figured the cops got him or he took off. Well, January 1926, we're headed up to Fairlawn. And I said, these people yelling threats at me in the store. They need to realize I'm an FBI informant. And they can kiss my ass. They can kiss the Stark County judge's ass. They can kiss the FBI's ass. And they can kiss my government immunity, government protected, informant ass. I'm tired of it. They can't touch me and they need to absorb it. And realize it. Well, I turn on MC Hammer, you can't touch us, and we're dancing around in the car. Well, I didn't know he was listening, and it pissed him off, and he came in and confessed. We go in, and he's already in there with a guy waiting for us. Okay? And the waitress sits us at the next table over. Carl had to go use the bathroom. He's like, I'm the one that got a hold of her online years ago. I thought you looked like the picture, but a lot thinner. He said, I proved with those messages she's cheating. I thought, that's not cheating. I don't know you and you're a weirdo. And he said, I tell all men she's not good enough for another man. And I'm glad I never met her in person. I thought, fuck you, you're as ugly as a horse's ass and you wouldn't have got a pity date. Okay. He said, her dancing around the car like a little kid with her new husband. The officers for the case only watch her because they feel sorry for her. I thought they liked me and there's a quarter. And he said, I'm the one that incited her new husband's family to threaten his life to take his farm. He said, I found out his son was down there vandalizing stuff on the farm. Told him, stay out of it. I'll steal everything for him. He said, I found out the other Michelle is telling on us for what we're actually doing, but they can't use it. You just confessed you twit for what you're actually doing. See, there was another Michelle. Not the Michelle that was dating Agent John, the prostitute he has to pay, the loudmouth whore. But there was another Michelle involved. She's thin, she's young, blonde, long blonde curly hair. Okay? She was the one dating another agent on a roof, and March 27, 25, he got it out of her that the doctor from before is not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied he was one of her doctors. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. He had got it also out of Dave, that girlfriend from before me made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory. And she could have free insurance to use. The lady using my insurance was one of his girlfriends. And he got it out of that family. Why on earth would you tell people it offended you? It's 6 months later, she had nothing to do with that traffic accident. And Strange just calling her a faker 6 months later. He said they were all lying to the FBI to help these people get away with this. Didn't even concern him. Lisa's father killed her kid and she wasn't even there. They were just lying. Okay, well, Carl seen that other Michelle, April 17th, 25, in Sheetz parking lot. Walked out, had a meltdown in front of everybody, April 17th, 25. I talked to the police up there. They said, how dumb was I telling that guy that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied he was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. Okay? And that when they bashed in her head, they tried to kill her or leave her incompetent, and it didn't work. And as soon as I told that guy, he broke up with me. And I really liked him, and I wanted to marry him. And they said he's some kind of agent, and she's an informant. We could all end up in jail. And I wanted to marry him. And you could just feel her pain. real young girl. It was echoing. She was screaming in that parking lot. Well, these people threatened to kill her. They threatened to shave her head bald, make her work as a servant. And these people kill people and they sell people. So I did a video last year. It's like, Michelle, get to an FBI office, get to a sheriff's office, mention the case. You got information, especially on the Texas group. That's gold to them. 95% of the people in the witness protection program are criminals. And they wipe out your whole past, put you in immunity, and give you money the rest of your life. And they'll protect you. Don't hesitate, get there, because they were threatening to kill her everywhere. Okay? Well, her and her friends went badass on them. Told on all of them for what they were doing. See, that's where May 26, 25, they walked in to Walmart 62 and said, we heard they were making fun of the scam up in Summit Mall. A bill from the Freemasons, big scam of the dirty doctor not being one of hers worse for them, and they had lied, and the whole thing's a scam. Cartel's tired of Bill. Who does he think he is? And that other cartel think they can threaten Michelle? They're not running it. We are. Michelle said she's really nice. She said how to take care of herself, where I told you I did that video. She's out of this. It's between us and them. Do they want more? And I was scared to death there was going to be drive-bys. You know what they did? They told on them. Every one of them told on them. In her little social group, in that cartel, they told on them. Everything. Judge Peter's group from Florida, they're funny, in a weird way, funny criminals. They are loud, proud criminals. We're drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. We work for Judge Peters. And they will tell you their crimes and go, what? But if you cross them, they will hand you over to the cops and feds on a platter. They have no problem ratting everything out on you. You cross them, and they will tell everything on you. Well, December 1st, 25, that pretty Michelle must have showed up at another investigator's office. And he showed up at Walmart 62. Michelle showed up at my office, said that these people confessed this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved, and that the doctor from before was not one of hers, worse for them, and they had lied he was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And that guy Pete running his mouth about her, she doesn't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And these people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And the tape of Weird with Yourself is photoshopped of washing in the shower. And the whole thing was just a scam to extort money from the government. So where he said the other Michelle's telling on us for what we're actually doing, thank you for your confession. He said, I have, and then on January 1926, that Henry Muffy Pete guy, fake dirty doctor, said, I have a judge's friend, I don't know my tapes in court without the FBI while they're busy with Minnesota. Turn all the cases money over to me, and I'll be long gone and steal all them cases money for myself. Pull a fast one on the FBI. On my dead body, I wrote the president. You won't get a dime. That's where the officers showed up the next day in the mall. We told you she didn't know what's going on. That guy confessed he never met her in person. Well, people showed up after that. That's that guy, Pete. He was supposed to be the doctor from before. And he admitted he never met you in person. Get the idea. Then I found out that it is Agent John's girlfriend's dad. Okay? Get the idea. And that Will guy impersonating May 9th, 2016, the credentials on that attorney, he was supposed to be a fake attorney. His credentials are not real. He's one of Dave's girlfriend's dad. Impersonating an attorney, the credentials aren't real. May 9th, 2016, announced at Myers in Alliance by the Front Register. And they call this whole thing a extortion group. Okay? Get the idea? Where Agent John's girlfriend, June 26, 26, in front of a whole bunch of undercover Stark County sheriffs, walked into Dodge Valley Restaurant. It's my family doing all this for me. They're stealing everything from me because she's a faker. Okay? The drug dealers we hired to do this to her set up body cameras in her home, taped her in the shower washing herself, and photoshopped that in the other room to make her look weird with herself. They were making fun of her. The drug dealers we hired picked her out personally to do it to her, to steal everything from me. God, he has to pay to date that. See, that's where people with his girlfriend being named Michelle and that other agent's girlfriend being named Michelle, where people thought they were stealing for Michelle. I think they thought they were stealing for that pretty Michelle, not the loudmouth prostitute. I think they got them confused. And when they, like they said, when they find out who they're stealing for, nobody thinks it's funny. They find out it's Katie's family, they really don't. And then they try to lie Katie's family was poor. Her net worth is $1,100,000. She's very wealthy. Her brother-in-law Mike's probably worth that, if not double. They're very wealthy people. Get the idea? But when you find out who Pete and the Dirty Doctor is, or that agent's laughing real hard, it's because he knew I didn't know. And he knew it was a scam. That's where the FBI needs to take back their case, because where if it gets thrown out, the drug dealers will walk, like Walter said, if they don't pay you. The case will get thrown out. Every informant's paid, and even Grant's friend that's an FBI agent in Virginia, all informants have to be paid. They have to pay you to willingly stay out there so they can surveillance you to get these people. Otherwise, they defrauded me of money, and then it's not, makes all the surveillance illegal, and it gets thrown out. See this, and then those drug dealers will walk, and then they can sue for tens of millions of dollars. It also can get thrown out for me being mistreated. That's where the willing statement needs to be signed and notarized. Like investigators said, we wish the FBI would take our offer. Because does the FBI know he doesn't have the authority to ask me to stay quiet? Yeah. And then why would you stay quiet when he's even told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care? the night before because some idiot called me a faker 15 years before. I told hundreds of people, and it's documented, verified. The agent that returned my phone call from the hotline was the one telling on me for calling the hotline before he talked to me, and then admitted on a recorded line the next day. That he had all those church people in his office. Get the idea? So, that's where they need to take their case back and then get that thieving agent. But, yeah, there's some lady running around trying to tell people that she's running it. She's not running it. She's a drug dealer and a con man. Get the idea? I'm going to upload this.